Alrighty, hey y'all. I'm here. Hi, how you doing? Oh, we'll see how long this takes. So I just came out of the coffee shop. I had to go tinkle again as usual, and there they go. I beat my last record, 27 seconds. Haven't closed the door yet though. So we'll see if they end up doing that. Sorry about that. I had to sit stuff on the ground. And there goes the sign. Oh, you're looking at me. Dang it, you missed it. This guy was standing clear over by the coffee shop and literally just walked ahead of me into the door, closed the door, there was blinds. Sorry about that, I didn't turn it around. Oh, did they get their door fixed? That might be an accident. So, oh man, I didn't have it turned around. So, hey Pup Groomer. I appreciate you being here. I know my schedule was all messed up. I thought I was going to be doing this live inside my truck because it rained off and on all the way here. And then I get like downtown a couple miles away and the sun came out a little. So that was amazing. Hey y'all, I got 6 people now. So I didn't have the camera turned around when I came out of the coffee shop. The other reason I'm late is I didn't want to come up around the front without being live, so I walked all the way around the back to the next block and came that way so I could go in the coffee shop and go to the restroom. So that would have been a good footage because he was standing clear over there in that opening with his little tickets. And I said, hey, how you doing? You saw me. And as soon as I said, well, let's see how long this takes, he figured out who I was. He could see my sign under my arm. So, hello all. Happy Saturday. I hope everybody's relaxing. I almost didn't come, but it said it wasn't supposed to rain until 5. But it was yucky all the way here. I hardly did this film at all, so. But I wanted to come, because I said I was. I scheduled it yesterday and I guesstimated. Oh, lots to talk about though. That's another reason I wanted to be on. So I was fully prepared to just sit in my truck and have that conversation. Oh, I got the other ones closed this time down at the end. Usually they leave that open because I don't really, I stopped walking back and forth after my cane disappeared. So, and how's everybody? Okay, so I've learned that if I can't see the chat, I can bring it up. Pup Groomer, Hitzel Lozano, am I saying that right? You emailed me, I will check it. I did not check it yesterday or the day before. And I may not have checked my other one because I have 2 associated with this channel. I tried to make a new one called scientologywontwin at Gmail, so it was more with the channel. I'm working on the kinks. So, because I put out in the members only chat on Aaron's channel, like I want to make the channel shorter, more interesting. But originally I was just Scientology Won't Win. But I had made that channel on my personal account and I didn't want to do that. So when I made the new, even though I changed it to something else, when I went to start this one, it wouldn't let me have it. It probably will now. So I've been thinking about just taking the In Texas off, but by now everybody knows what it is. So, conundrum. Very conundrum. I don't know if I said that right. So, give them a few minutes for people to come in. I actually forgot my notes. I had notes. I've been writing notes all day yesterday. But I think I can remember most of them. Once I write something down, it helps. So how many of you know what's going on with the billboard? The Aftermath Foundation billboard in LA? some information came out. We just knew that it went up, and they had a cherry picker and a scissor lift in front of it, and then like 3-4 days later it was gone. And it actually came down the night of L. Ron Hubbard's birthday, technically the 14th, but it's 3 o'clock in the morning. That we didn't know. So, because Laura FM and the Squirrel Squad was out there late, and it was still there. Well, a white van was seen at 3 o'clock in the morning removing the billboard. Now, no business sends somebody out at 3 o'clock in the morning, and there's a rumor that there was a broken lock. But what the company has said that they signed the contract with and paid to put it up is Clear Channel Outdoor. And they said that they were pressured by Scientology. Hi, Flipper Squirrel. You probably know all this, but it's so hard to keep up with all the channels and all the stuff that's going on. I thought I would just talk about, things that have come up in the last few days. So we're talking about the billboard and how it disappeared. Well, we now know that the company bowed down to the pressures of Scientology. Personally, I think they were more probably paid off, but that's my opinion. Because somebody came out at 3 a.m. to take it down. That's not Clear Channel. They probably gave the go-ahead, and Scientology was like, well, we're taking it down right now. And we did find out that lot where the scissor lift and cherry picker was owned by Scientology. So somebody was going to look into the air rights. But before any of that happened, it was gone. And even though I don't care for the board of the Aftermath Foundation, I mean, it's supposed to be doing good work. And it was a good place for that sign because you could see it from Scientology. And if they were so worried about their members wanting to leave that they had to get rid of it, then we know they're lying when they say that our members can leave anytime they want. I think they fixed the door, unless they locked it. It looks like it's kind of crooked. So that's what I heard about the billboard. It's kind of sad that people are still bowing down to Scientology when, I mean, all they have to do is look online and find out that they really won't sue you because they don't want to go into the discovery phase or have anybody deposed. And that's what happens. Aaron wants them to sue him. So, some other news, I watched a clip of somebody that was, and I'm going to put it in the description because I want you to know the channels that gave me this information. So I'll sit down with my notes and I'll put it in the description because you can go watch the whole story if you want to. But I've been following the Clearwater real estate for some time. There was a really good article in the Tampa Bay Times with maps and showing, who owned what and how much is owned by Scientology. And you really see why it's a ghost town down there. So, starting around 2017, 32 businesses bought 92 properties. These were all Scientology businesses, public, that were buying the buildings and then giving to Scientology. $103 million was spent. 99 million of it was cash. Now we know how the public gets cash to donate to Scientology. They overextend themselves on credit cards or create downright credit card fraud in order to have cash to hand to Scientology so Scientology can then purchase things debt-free. And that's where a lot of Scientology's money lies, is their real estate scam. They own all this real estate, which makes them, they can, you know, sell off real estate if they need any money, which they don't, because the Dugganses have donated a $500,000. No, $500 million, $500 million to the church. And that's how we know they have about $1 billion in the bank. So, this happened in a 3-year period of time. And that what they did is, a lot of the storefronts, they put fake storefronts out to make it look like it was a real business. And the only other place that does that is North Korea and China. Go figure that. So, downtown Clearwater is a ghost town. There's literally like one little road block where there's some, I say civilian because I was military, and anybody not in an organization is a civilian. So that's where civilians, non-Scientologists go. But it's such a pretty downtown that any other city in Florida near the water would be just going gangbusters. It would be packed weekends all the time. So they've ruined Clearwater. So we hope that Mark Bunker gets reelected. Is he still going for city council, or is he going for mayor this time? I think I misunderstood that. Hold on, let me see. Okay, it's not scrolling. Okay, Acupunk. Hey, Acupunk. Yep, I made it through. It rained all the way here, off and on. I thought I was going to be standing in the rain, but I got downtown. I was getting off 35, and the sun came out. And then I saw a long line down the street, and I remembered, oh my gosh, it's South by Southwest. Am I going to find parking? Which I did. There's nothing going on around here. Okay. SJ. Hey, SJ. I see you everywhere. I've been wondering where all the people are in Clearwater. It's ghost town. Yep. That's exactly what's going on. Acupunk 100. Get him, Miss Kim. It's usually shady here, and I can see. Xenu free. Thanks, Ruth. Much respect from Hamilton, Ontario. Yep, I remember. Well done, Miss Kim, and thank you, and all those who stand against this disgrace posing as a religion. Yep. City Council. Okay. I wasn't sure. He needs to run for mayor one of these days. Does anyone remember when Clearwater election day is? It's within the week. Last time I was watching it was like 7 days, and that was a couple of days ago. Is Snappy joining you? I don't know. We don't actually text each other. So sometimes, the only time I texted her was the day of the birthday, because I try to come early because I know she comes later, kind of late afternoon. I try so hard to get here by 1:30, 2 o'clock. But you know, it's 75 miles. On a good day, I can get here in an hour and 15 minutes. But traffic, hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours. I think it took me that long, 2 hours today because of the rain. But it's okay. I don't mind the drive. It's nice. Most of it's country, and then you hit Georgetown, Round Rock, and Austin. So back to the Clearwater ghost town. So yeah, if you go to the Tampa Bay Times article, that there's a reporter on the Tampa Bay Times. Oh, there we go. You know, I was gonna contact you, but I didn't think. I drove through rain all the way here, so I was like, they don't want to come out in bad weather.
I emailed you earlier.
I know. I did. Well, I didn't check. I was like, because I said I should email them, but so when I got up and I saw the weather, well, actually, I saw the weather yesterday.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, they're not going to want to come out in bad weather. But I got off downtown and the sun came out.
Yeah,
It was raining like all the way here.
We were here about an hour ago, and we like happened to close the windows and everything.
Yeah, I came out of the coffee shop like I always do, and he was standing there, and he walked up here and went in the door, And I beat my record. It was 27 seconds, but I can't count because they weren't putting the blind. They hadn't put all the blinds on yet.
Okay, so they had to put them back up.
Yeah, they had the door open. Well, there was when I went into the coffee shop, nobody was standing there because he would have saw me. Because I went see you guys way down there. I went all the way around the block down there and back up because I didn't want them to see me before I came out, so I was a little bit late. So I was talking to them about Clearwater being a ghost town and why. How many properties. Now that's just the properties that they bought. I don't know why my chat is not scrolling. F Sciento. I like that. This coming week is election. Thanks, Xenu Free. I hope I'm reading that right. It's really dark. Acupunk. He can run for mayor after this round. I hope he does. Thank you for committing to this like a boss. Okay. Little old me. Stopped raining because the Lord wants to rain on the pair. Yes. Yes. I believe that. Things always happen for a reason. I believe that. Okay, I'm caught up. I hope it's... Let me make sure that I'm learning. Let me make sure it's all messages. There we go. I didn't have it on all messages. But if I missed any messages, which I don't... Oh, okay. There is ones I missed. Pup groomer. I've been saying it's literally like Scientology is holding Clearwater's right on. Sorry about that. Let me know if I'm too loud. Can you guys hear me? I'm assuming you can. I had my earbud in and I didn't make sure that it was off. Clearwater's economy hostage because they own over half of the commercial real estate. I think they own more than half. Okay, I think I caught... I hope I caught... Clearly sounds great. Okay, it must not be hooked up anymore. Tuesday the 19th. Election, Clearwater. Awesome. Yeah, I'm definitely following that. But yeah, if you go to the Tampa Bay Times article, you know what? I will find it. And I will attach it in the description. It was so good. Because I can't remember if they had an interactive map or not. Because it was an online article. But there's a really great reporter there. She wrote the article. And if we could just have one reporter in each city that would tell the truth, we could get so much more out. One reporter in LA could get everything out that's going on. And they would probably get an award for it. Honking, good time. Yes, we can hear you. Yeah, I like that. Whoops. Hold on, I dropped my sign. I had it under my arm because I was trying to look at I don't know why my chat disappears. But I have to go in and I thought nobody was chatting and there was a whole bunch. I didn't even see them. So I have to go in every once in a while. But you can see my sign. But I didn't even have my sign up when they honked. So they just know we're here. It's probably somebody that knows we're here. So Clearwater. So Mark Bunker, he was involved decades ago going after Scientology. They said something about Anonymous. But he was with an organization in like the late 90s, I believe, where he was going after Scientology. So he's been a thorn in their side for quite a long time. He's either a Scientologist or he came out of the coffee shop. I'm not sure. I didn't notice. Hey, ho, ho, Scientology got to go. Vote Bunker. Yup. I can say that when I'm done flapping my jaws. Because I had a list of notes of things I just wanted to talk about today. Because, we don't have things go on like in LA. So, and I forgot to put her channel. I'll do that today on this description. So you guys can go give her some love. What else did I want to talk about? The billboard, Clearwater. Oh, what did I write down? trying to remember. Oh, my brain hurts. I really like Natalie's channel, Scientology. I can't remember. I know somebody in the chat knows what it is. I know probably Fluffer Scroll does. Bunker, Lisa. Oh, the Lisa McPherson Trust. Yes. Life After Cult. Yes. I just started watching her in the mornings. I've seen her on other channels and live and stuff, but I hadn't watched her morning news report, which has been really where I got a lot of this. If you watched her show yesterday, you should get an RC cop car with sirens and a little Davy for the top. That would be fun. Well, I'm doing an army theme. Maybe I could find an army truck too. That would be fun. We'll see. That sounds like fun. I'm trying to do some fun things. At first, I was like, bad things happened last weekend, and I felt like doing fun things was disrespectful in a way. But then Aaron said the reason he's involved and the reason it's going so well is because it is fun. It's not serious all the time. Trying to be serious all the time, gets old and stressful. So that's why I want to do something that's fun and interesting, for new people, instead of me just standing here looking at a closed door. So that's also why I try to pan around some. Hi. How you doing? Glad you're here.
Sorry.
Oh, you went to the pizza place?
Yeah.
I'm joining the club down there because I'm here so much.
Nice.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it's like $5 a month, and then you get lower prices. And I did the math.
Good deal.
Oh, all right. Good job.
That's a great deal.
Yeah. So like 3 times in there, and it's paid for itself. But I was trying to sign up, and the app was giving me problems. So yeah, way down there where the trees are. I'm getting a new gimbal, and I'll have Zoom.
Oh, weed is good. If he says weed is just a herb, not drugs.
We get characters in Austin, and it's South by Southwest this weekend. I think it starts this weekend. We're gonna get some interesting. Let me check the chat. It's disappeared again. Okay. But yeah, mad respect for Mark Bunker, and yeah. Oh, I love the little pink car. That was awesome. That was so much fun, and it's annoying to them, I know. So yeah, I've got some ideas that I want to do to make it more fun and interesting and annoy them more and be louder, because when I get it done. So what happened was, I said my surprise was going to be the beginning of this week, but I asked a couple people for some help. I emailed them, and I told them on Instagram, but I forgot to tell them I emailed them on the Instagram. And people, especially ex-members, they get a lot of email. So I don't think they've even seen my email. So I need to wait on them for their help, because I don't know all the Scientology jargon like I need to. So it may be a few more days until I get some help on that. So I am going to wear an army t-shirt, and I'm debating, I think I want to put Xenu's Army on the front. I could put something on the back, but I always have my backpack. But Pearl Snappy gave me a great idea this last time, because I haven't seen her. We haven't been together in a long time. We've been here on totally different days for the most part. And she had a wagon. I'm like, do you know how many rolly totes I have because of Girl Scouts when I was a Girl Scout leader and had to tote everything to and from meetings? I'm like, I can dig something out of the shed, because my husband, he's super supportive. And this is a half piece of poster board. And it gets heavy, even this, and I want a bigger sign. Well, we went to a thrift shop that he loves to go to in our town. And what it is they buy storage spaces. So everything in there, is from storage space. Super, super cheap, because they don't get it for very much. We found an awesome tripod, and it's big, like a piece of PVC pipe could fit on the top. And I want to sit it right here by me. Bigger sign, so people can see these cars. You can't see me. So if I had a bigger sign that was taller, like up there, then they could see it far and wide, and I wouldn't have to hold it. But to get it here, it's light, it's plastic, thank goodness. And I was gonna put a strap on it, but her wagon gave me a better idea. That way I've got somewhere to keep my stuff, so my cane, I've got somewhere to put my cane. If I have to, I'll just get one of those wagons. So I was like, I don't want to spend $160 on a gimbal, but my husband's like, look, just get it, you need it. He's so awesome. So when I get home today, I'm gonna order the new gimbal, because this one's not working. I'm back to my original, my personal phone, because it just looks better, but it's it doesn't work on the gimbal at all, so I have to lock it. He gave me his old phone. I'm gonna try to use it. I literally have 4 phones in my backpack right now. So I have an old style iPhone. That's the control to my pain stimulator in my back. I have to carry that, though I don't really change it very often. And then I have that throwaway phone I bought on Facebook Marketplace that the camera just isn't gonna work. It doesn't have some sort of refresh rate. I don't know what the numbers are, but when you're videotaping it, it gets blurry. So it was a cheap phone. Then I have my old phone, but it won't even hook up to the hotspot on my phone, and YouTube won't even load. So that's next. It's worthless, even though it's a really good phone. I don't know why it started doing that after I got the new phone. It just does. Well, my husband's same phone, we had the Note 9s. His is still in good shape, and he never had a lot of stuff on it. So I've got it all set up with my YouTube channel and everything. So next live, I'm going to try that phone, because the new gimbal, so I asked some people, Denver Scientology audit, he's the one that told me to get the DJI Osmo 6, but it has a magnetic phone holder, and I'm like, well, somebody could hit it and knock it off. So I asked Aaron in the members chat last time, not 2 times ago, and he said that it was strong enough that if they knock it, it's gonna knock the whole gimbal out of my hand first. So, okay. Fluffer Squirrel, Louis Repetto and Nora are great sources of info for jargon. Also, Declared Dave has some great videos too. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do some search. F Sciento. What up, girl? Not sure if that's me or someone in the chat, but what's up? I like your name. It's cool. So every time I go in the coffee shop, they haven't said anything, but I always buy a drink even when I don't want one. I almost bought one. There was a homeless guy. He's gone now. Well, he might not have been homeless. He might have been here for South by. He was putting butterfly wings on his dog. I almost just offered to get him a coffee. But if they've seen me a lot, so I'm hoping when I go to use the restroom, I don't have to always buy a drink. Because, like I said, if I'm in the car for a couple hours, it's really, really hard to find somewhere to stop in town. So, trying to remember all the things I wanted to cover, and I can't. Natalie had a really good interview with, I think it was Repetto. I think that was his name. That was really good. That was about, that was really good. You should see it. It was either today or yesterday. Because since I'm in the car so long, I used to be huge into music, huge into music, and now I need to get caught up on all the Scientology, channels and information. So I usually listen to something on the way here. I try to find something that's an hour and a half or so long, so I don't have to mess with it. And that's what I listened to her all the way here. And then, oh man, I had front and back page of notes, half sheet. I thought I was gonna remember it all. Oh, has anybody seen the short from Confident Chris from L. Ron Hubbard Day? They did this little skit where they they acted like Scientologists finding the billboard for the first time. That was totally fun. If I see their door open, I need to say that. Okay, check in chat again because it keeps disappearing. Let's see. Say hi to you. Oh, I'm super excited to see a new streamer. Thank you. Yeah, so you're pretty, I haven't noticed your name, so since there might be new people, we'll do a quick intro. I'm Miss Kim. That's been my nickname for years and years. It's a thing they do in Texas. I had my own home daycare, and then I was a Girl Scout leader, and my name is Kim, so they all call you by your first name, and it's Miss Kim. Hey, Seattle. Marissa. Oh, I can't see. Marissa. Hey, what's up? You guys got an org up there too, huh? I heard a few things out of there. Oh, they told me something that I kept saying the people in uniform, I wasn't sure if they were Sea Org or staff. They said there's really only 3 bases where there's Sea Org. Now, there have been orgs that they staff with Sea Org in the past, but they're not supposed to. So, most likely the people we're seeing are staff. But it's still sad to see them like super old still working. And probably never get any Social Security because they never paid into it. I don't even know if they're on the record. I don't know how that works. Maybe they can. I can't remember what they did talk about taxes and stuff. Oh, good. She's got the phone number. So it's scary at our Seattle location. It's dangerous area, but I stalk it. There are at least 2 people out in Seattle and more disappeared. Interesting. Yeah. Thank you, Fluffer Squirrel. I go to your page all the time to look at names and find channels, and that's been a great resource for me. And I try to pass it on to everybody. That's been an awesome resource. I went through and I have 2 channels. I have my personal channel. You'll see me in the chats, and that'll be my face. That's my personal. I do everything with my personal channel. I only do my live streaming and YouTubing on this channel. Both of them, though, I show up as Miss Kim. Thank you, Fluffer Squirrel. Appreciate it. Yeah, everybody working together. In the members chat yesterday, if you're not a member of Aaron's channel, you can always watch it on the replay. That's when he was saying the reason that he's involved and the reason that he goes out there to LA and the reason he supports it is because it's fun, because we're doing, while it's fun, while we have the community, we're still getting the message out. And somebody said that they talked to like Nora and ex-members that they're saying that a record number of people are getting out right now. And I hope that's true. I don't know how to really measure that. But if that's true, that's awesome. Did you hear that? I heard it yesterday or the day before. I can never remember what I watched so many channels, but they said that some of the ex-members that have channels, that a record number of people are getting out. Yeah, and there's more and more under the radar too. And what they said it probably is now when you look up Scientology, and this was Aaron's idea from the get-go. True story, more out than in. Yup, Sally Berger. Sally Boyer. True story. Okay, good. That makes it all worth it. That's why I'm here. I'm here for that, and I'm here to make sure not one new person walks in that door. And if I keep one person, yes, that was on Laura FM, Liz Ferris, and Oh No Nora Live. Yeah, they were doing it the other day. And see, I was watching somebody talk about it. Laura said she's hearing from a lot of under the radar types. Yeah. And that's awesome because now when you search Scientology, you don't get the Scientology website, you get us. And that's why I think I'm going to leave my channel alone and leave Scientology in it. I was going to try to make it more findable because everybody knows me as Miss Kim. And I was going to do Miss Kim audits, Miss Kim audits Austin, all this. I'm just going to leave it. I need Scientology in the name. I realize I need to just leave it alone. I might take in Texas out so it's Scientology won't win. It'd be shorter. I don't know. Right now, everybody kind of knows. So I'm just going to leave it alone for a while unless I have an epiphany. Well, I'm Miss Kim as my ID, but people, that's what my analytics said. Because my name is, I did it under Miss Kim. Yeah, Skyrider. She's not changing their channel either. But my analytics said that 80% of the people looking for me are looking under Miss Kim. But they're finding me because people are watching and looking for me. So as long as they can still find me under Miss Kim, because when I initially made my channel, you know, I went searching under Miss Kim to see what would come up. And all this weird different stuff came up. That was before I was live. So now that I'm live, now that people are watching, now that there's traffic, now when you search Miss Kim, you're gonna find me. You're gonna find probably one of either or channel. I've had subscribers on my personal channel. I have like 14 because I don't think they realized that wasn't my live channel, but that's okay. That's fine because they don't realize that I sign out of this account when I'm not live streaming. Sally. General Boa, actually, hi. Marissa, I don't know why my screen is so dark. It's really hard to see. I think it's because it's overcast. Let me make sure my brightness is turned up. Hold on, hang on just a second. Oh, no, it's not. Well, gee, that's why I can't see. It's not really any better. Maybe use the Scientology. You know why I haven't used, Marissa? I haven't used the SBTV. I didn't feel QC here. Is that in Canada? Thinking Quebec or something? I'm still not seeing the chat very well. Still got to figure that out. But yeah, I mean, those are things. I never thought I'd be big enough to worry about these things. Like I said initially. Oh, I just realized I forgot my hat. I always forget something. Oh, that's what you mean. Okay. I'll do that in some of my titles, you mean? Yeah. I'm not tech savvy at all. I'm just facing a blank building. I'm not tech savvy at all. I mean, it took a college student standing here to teach me how to go live. And I need to really, I'm so busy watching the other, thanks Marissa. Okay. Trying to keep up with the other SPTV channels that I don't have the time to sit down and watch a how-to video. And I have a little bit. Mostly I've gotten, I wish I could have changed it to grandma something, but, because Lewis on New Report thought that was hilarious when the cops came out, that I'm yelling I'm a grandma and they won't put me in jail. But yeah, I never thought I would need to know how to work YouTube. Matter of fact, I never watched YouTube before a couple of years ago. I didn't, I mean, I'd look at it every once in a while for maybe news or some fun stuff, but really now I'm getting rid of Hulu. I got Hulu for the Super Bowl. I'm gonna get rid of it. I don't watch it. Upper scroll. Okay. Because I'd rather give that money to memberships of channels and super chats or donations to channels. I'd rather spend that $80 a month doing that, because that's what I watch. Matter of fact, my husband yesterday, when he woke up, he's like, I go, what do you want to watch? He goes, I'm kind of over Scientology at the moment. And I was like, okay, we can watch something else. Janet from Another Planet. Awesome name. Way to go, Miss Kim. You are awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that. That makes it worth it. Makes me feel good. Yeah, I never thought I'd have followers either. It's trippy. But, you know, I told, see if we can see anybody inside. Once I get the new gimbal, I can zoom and stuff, because I do like to get anybody from inside. What other news is going on? I had like a page and a half of notes and left the whole thing in the car. So I was in such a hurry to get out because I was running late. Forgot my hat. Super glad they came out. Hey, I'm about to make a new sign. My husband bought me a tripod to put a bigger sign on. Do you want this one?
Yeah.
Well, I'll give it to you when I switch signs. I don't know when that's going to be. All I did is you can see I've had a few signs on there because I had the honk one and I just hot glued it back on.
I was like, I need something smaller. more
Yeah.
compact.
I like this, and you can always put your own thing on, just tape it or hot glue it over it, because there's a piece of core board in here. So, but yeah, it's gonna be a full sheet, hopefully. I don't know, because it's a big tripod. I want a big sign. So yeah, I'll give you my sign, because I won't need it after that. Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm glad. Thanks for coming, because I know you said you didn't want to come alone, but I'm glad that you did, because that means we cover more time.
Yeah, I always come and support whoever's here.
Mhm.
Like some people out here, so they see what's going on.
Mhm.
So they see like people are out here purchasing.
Yeah. I thought it was only me and Pearl Snappy, because I thought some of the others went with her, but then I realized, no, they're coming on their own too. I need to watch their channels and support them too.
Yeah.
So Acupunk and Freelance Adventures and... Ooh! I'm terrible with
I
names.
saw who was. Oh yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. So there's more of us than I thought. It's just the times I usually come.
I'm like, as long as they have those doors closed for those
Yep.
lines.
Yep. That's the goal. Shut them down. Pack it up. Shut it down.
Go get some food now. I'm like,
Yeah.
I've been going to get a lot of like different stuff.
Yeah.
But it's always nice seeing you.
You too. All right. I'll find your email and I'll get your channel put on the description so they know where you are. So.
I think I commented on your video. I was like,
Okay. Thanks. Yeah, I think I did see.
yeah.
I did see that. All right. Yeah, because I try to check my comments all the time. Let's see. Did I miss anybody? Oh, let's see. Skyrider, you are relatable to me as Reese. Love seeing you in the chat on other streams. You are best chat. Oh, thank you so much. I just have a lot to say. Pup Grimmer, I have Hulu for the family. I have YouTube Premium. Yeah, I have that. And I claim it as a business expense since the majority of my channel is about my work. Oh, that's good. I'm thinking about doing that since my YouTube channel could be considered, because, you know, the gas going with, we have a V8 engine. It's ridiculous. Sally, oh wow, that's amazing. Oh, Body Router and Plainclothes tried to recruit Streets. I saw it, Streets LA. That was pretty comical. Yep. He was like going along with it for a while, and then he chased him down because they're trying to reopen that somehow. They're trying everything they can. It's not going to work. So, but trying to rack my brain what I wrote down. Let me know if I'm moving too fast. I get easily motion sickness, so I understand. I'm trying to do it as slow as possible. So it said if I ordered the new gimbal, I think I get it next day maybe. So hopefully before my next live, I'll have the new gimbal and maybe the other phone. I love using my phone. It's awesome. It just, I think because it's the flip 5, it just doesn't balance right. So when I try to turn on the gimbal, it wants to flip upside down. But the gimbal worked fine with the throwaway phone I bought, but it was super shaky. What it is certain phones, newer phones, have a stabilization built in, and I think mine does, and that throwaway cheap phone did not. That video was so shaky, I couldn't even watch it. So I tried to put in the title to be careful watching that. Or I'll check and make sure I did do that. Because anybody that gets sick cannot watch that. Like I said, live and learn. I'm learning. And I try to tell people, Dan walks. He's out there getting all kinds of views. And he's, I think Natalie's going to interview him today or tomorrow. And that's so cool. And he started just like us, small. And I don't mind if I stay small. I'm still doing my work. I don't care if I'm live. As long as I'm standing here and that door's closed, that's all that matters. So, but every time, you know, things get bigger. Yeah, he does. Dan seems so sweet. He does. It's fun. Oh, thank you, Scientology. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm hoping, you know, anybody that wants to start can see me and how how many hiccups I've had. But I'm still coming. The being that I'm an hour north, and then my husband works an hour north of where we live, the weather can be completely different. So when I checked, we had rain almost all the way here. But it said it wasn't going to rain here till 5. Well, it rained until the edge of Austin. And then when I got off, it was sunny. So worked out well for me. Because I was coming anyway. If it wasn't pouring, if it was just misty, or I was going to come out anyway. I have a poncho. The only thing I was worried about was lightning. So I was thinking about just standing under the tree, so maybe it would hit one of these metal light poles and not me. My ex-stepmom worked for the gas company back home up north. She got hit by lightning. Woo, she was not right after that. So I don't need any help in the crazy department. I'm good to go. Hi. Yeah.
I saw your sign.
Do you mind being on camera?
I don't mind at all.
Okay.
But yeah, I was wondering if you can tell me more about.
Sure. What do you know anything about Scientology?
So all I know is probably like the rumors about it, like
I can tell you the
like
facts.
mind control and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
what's like the actual? Like,
The reason it's a cult and not a religion, and they hide under being a religion, they have tax exempt status. They don't let their members leave. And I don't mean all their members. They have 3 different, okay, so you see the people in uniform, they're considered staff. They sign a contract, but they're supposed to get either, is it $200 a week or $200 a month, you guys? I don't have a big channel. Thanks. But if the org doesn't make any money, they don't get paid. And they work 80 to 100 hours a week. And then they have to get a second job to live on. Then you have what they call the Sea Org, and it's like a military type organization. That's the slave labor. They get, the families will give over their kids as young as 12, and they put them to work 100 hours a week for $47 a week, and they don't always get paid. Now they feed them and they give them a bunk to sleep on.
Child labor laws?
Yeah, well, every time somebody tries to go after them, the government won't go after them because for years they've been afraid of them because they have so much money. They're not that big. They only have 30,000 members. They say they have like 10 million, but they don't.
There's like celebrities associated.
Tom Cruise and John Travolta,
Yeah.
and they're like so high up, and they know what's going on. They know, but you know it's far from them. So you have levels down, right? So you have public, which would be say like you or me was a member. Now, it's called pay to play. You have to be rich to be a public, because to go up the levels, you're paying tens of thousands of dollars. I think it's $50,000 to $80,000 to go up the bridge, maybe more. There are members that have given over $500 million. That's why they have some from their big people. And then they don't, and then the reason I'm here is the child abuse. They believe that they've lived multiple lives because they're Satans, they're like spirit. That's not what they really call it. They're actually from space 70 million years ago. So they look at their kids like adults in small bodies, because last life they could have been an 80-year-old man. We have so many channels of kids that have gotten out, what we call second gen. You see people working here that are young, I guarantee you they're second or third gen, because they're not getting new members. Nobody wants to sign up for this crap. But they do sometimes. What they'll do is they'll get somebody from Russia, and they'll bring them here and they'll take their passport. And they're not allowed to have a cell phone, they're not allowed to have internet, they probably don't even watch TV, they don't have time. They literally don't have time to sleep. And there's a movement that started a year ago. I mean, it blew up a year ago, called SPTV. SP is a suppressive person. That's what they consider an anti-Scientologist. And it blew up in the last year. And because some of the people that had had channels for a long time that had gotten out started encouraging anybody to start a channel. I'm a never-in. I've never been in Scientology. I'm a grandma that started a few weeks ago, and I've got like 25 people watching. It's usually, you know, some of them there's a group. I never thought I'd even be live, but I live 75 miles away. But when I heard they bought this building 55 years ago on purpose next to the college, but what has protected them all these decades? L. Ron Hubbard started it around the 50s. It really got a lot of members in the 70s during the, you know, weird culture back then, you know.
Yeah, I saw like a documentary where like he's like based out in Florida, or was.
Yeah, there's Flag in Florida, and then LA is a big Scientology hub.
Basically, he got like all of the residents in Florida to be kind of like, basically they're against college students going on spring break in that area of Florida.
Well,
So
what it is they
you
didn't
know.
get citizens of Clearwater. They make it sound like they have a lot of members in Clearwater, but they don't. What they've done is they have money, and members will overextend themselves and get like $50,000 credit cards. And they've bought like in 3 years, they bought 92 buildings downtown Clearwater, because they don't want people down there. That's where their base is, their flag base. It's kind of where they started. There's not a lot of members there, but it's a ghost town because they bought up all the real estate. They don't have to pay taxes on it because they're a tax exempt church, and it's a real estate scheme. And they just sit decrepit and empty. And there's one town, New Haven, Connecticut, that thinks that finally said, you know, your building's been sitting for 20 years and it's a hazard. If you don't fix it, we're going to take it. And I think hopefully that if that does happen, other cities will follow the same route. But the biggest thing is the child abuse. So SA, do you know what I mean? Because you can't say certain things online, is rampant because they don't think it's a bad thing, and they're protected because you can tell anything in your audit, is what they call it, auditing. It's pretty much, it's close to what we would call therapy, but it's really more like an interrogation. You tell them all your dirt, and they record it, and they keep it, and that's another reason you can't get out. It's hard to get out.
It's like a huge like blackmail scheme.
Right. And so that's how they keep them in. And I had a train of thought that I just lost. Oh, the child abuse. They have confessed. Okay, so the kids at 12 years old, they teach them how to be an auditor, 12, 13. By 14, they're auditing adults. And you have to go into a room and listen to everything that adult is telling you about their dirt. And you can't leave until it's over, until they're done. And there's one Serge Del Mar. Check him out, and he will tell you what it's like to be 14 years old and listen to a pedophile telling you what he's been doing to either his own kids or other kids. And they all know it. It's all put in a report and sent up, and they don't do anything about it. Danny Masterson, have you heard of that in California? They protected him for 20 years. They knew. He admitted it. That's how everybody says that those women won with no evidence. They had paperwork from the church where he admitted he did it, but he didn't think it was wrong to drug in our women. And they were Scientologists too. So and what they do, if you're a victim in Scientology, they make it your fault. They're like, well, what did you do to pull this in? That's what their jargon. And they're like, well, what did you do wrong to make this bad thing happen to you? They don't help you. And that's where the mind control comes in. They isolate you, and I mean, these poor people in here, if they're in uniform, they're not making any money. They're not making any money in this org because we're keeping people from going in. So they're probably living in some other public's basement for a couple $100s a month, and they have to work a second job in order to afford it to exist.
My thing is like, I know some of this information, especially information you're giving me, isn't super public. I'm just like, how do people go in, and then like what draws them in the first place? I know.
Well, like what they do when they're out here and we're not here is they'll offer you a free personality test, and they get you in, you take the personality test, and they tell you, well, your life is crap, we can help you. We can help you de-stress by this course. But most of the time, I'll be honest, 20 years ago, they could get away with that. There wasn't the information out. Now we have social media, and now it's everywhere. And they don't know how to deal with that. They called the cops sort of on me. The ones in LA that are protesting, they literally called false calls on them 24 times in 2 months. And we call it First Amendment auditing. We can stand out here on a public street and film, right? And they did and the LAPD's in their pocket because that's their big base on Hollywood Boulevard. They have like 2 blocks of buildings, and they pay the LAPD triple the going rate to work security for their events. And somebody got a hold of their paycheck, their pay stubs or whatever, and they put them online, and their base pay is $65,000. Their overtime is another $65,000, and that's Scientology. So since October, they just started auditing, and they've been arrested. They got attacked, called the police, and they arrested them. This has happened on more than one occasion. And they let them out. They knew they were going to get out once the DA saw all the film that the cops wouldn't look at. But they just wanted to punish them and put them in jail. Well, a few weekends ago, all these cop cars showed up, and this cop runs by and says, did you hear any shots fired? So they were called on shots fired to my location because they couldn't call on me personally because they had a guard the first week. But he disappeared 5 minutes before they showed up. And so that's what they call swatting. The same weekend, some of them in LA, they weren't even protesting at that point. They were called on shots fired, and they have a scanner, and on the scanner you can hear them say, this is a possible swatting. It's the blonde that's always in our station, and she complains about treatment a lot. 22 cop cars, 2 helicopters, and handcuffs for 45 minutes just for punishment because they have a lot of money. Well, they haven't gotten APD yet because when that happened, the guy was super polite. As soon as he saw nobody running, he knew it was fake, and he talked to me. And if you want to see that, it's what I tell people is take a picture of the channels. These are all the main channels. Mike Brown. So I can go into the elder abuse next. There you go. I'll try to stay still.
So like, do you think they bought this building to try to
Yes.
get
L. Ron Hubbard. Now my channel is Scientology Won't Win in Texas. It's long, but it's to the point. Yes. He bought it 55 years ago, and then they remodeled it 4 years ago, but didn't have enough staff for it, and they just opened it in February, and that's when we started.
And they closed the one on Lamar?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and they left there with no notice. They were supposed to give 6 days notice to the owner, and the owner's like, they never gave. They just stuck. They left in the middle of the night. They don't care. The elder abuse, Mike Brown on that list. If you go to his channel, he was in it as a child in what they called the Sea Org cadets, I think, or a ranch, little, and grew up. He was one of the first kids. They weren't sure, never got any education. He wanted to go in the military. He finally got out at 20 and went in the Army. He had to get a GED and all that. Well, his mom was in the Sea Org that whole time. And when she got elderly and had a heart problem, they never got her medical care for it. Now it's real bad. Well, he finally found her, and what they do is they put him in homes or apartments with a bunch of others. And what they do is they take out big credit. They do fake how much money they make, and they'll get like a $50,000 credit card in their name, take the money, take their Social Security to pay for the minimum payment, and then when they die, it's gone. They don't have to pay it. Well, he snuck her out. He went in and snuck her out, and she's got a lot to talk about. So there's so many channels now, I can't even watch them all.
I imagine you might have already know this, but why are you so passionate about
The child abuse.
Yeah.
Because you might have missed this part. Because they've lived lives before, they don't look at their children like children. They look at them as adults in small bodies, because they could have been an 80-year-old man last life. So there's rampant SA to children, the elder abuse, the general abuse of people altogether, and that's the biggest reason for me. When I heard, growing up in Scientology, he's on that list. He really puts out who's a pedo, who's abusing their own kids in the church. It's a cult, but because I was telling her too that, you know, if you're in the Sea Org, you sign a $1 billion contract and they don't let you leave ever. You have to escape. They've had people escape in the trunk of a car. Somebody didn't know they were in the trunk until they got to like an hour and a half away. There was one guy, this was in the California secret bases that you're not supposed to know about. He had a motorcycle to get around the base, and he escaped on the motorcycle. They ran him off the road, and had a passerby not called the police, they would have drug him back. That's how he got out. And there's lots of stories like that. Lots of stories. Because they think you want to get out, they will put you in a room with a guard. It's okay. Ask whatever you want. That's what I'm here for.
What is the benefit, I guess, to a lot of the rich people that join? Power?
Yes. Yes, because they get big kudos for giving money. Tom Cruise got a big medallion. Once you're in, and even as a public, you can't. The reason they don't leave, another reason they don't leave is it destroys families. They call it disconnection. So like, let's say I got out, but my family's still in, and they consider me an SP, a suppressive person. They have to disconnect from me, and I'll never get to talk to them again. All your friends and family, and some public work for Scientologists. There are families of Scientologists, and if they talk against the church, they lose it all. And that's one of the biggest reasons it's hard to get out, even as a public. And that's why if you look, Tom Cruise does not talk about the church at all anymore. Not even pro, but he will never say anything bad. That's why Katie Holmes and her daughter, why she got her out, because she was turning 6, and that's when they start doing Scientology on you and start the mind control.
At least they wait, I guess, right? A little bit.
No, they do it as babies.
Oh,
There's this thing that they do. They call it some sort of assist, because they don't do medical. They will, if they're laying in the crib crying, they won't pick them up. They're like, tell me guys if I'm right. I'm not watching the chat at all. I'll go back and look. But they'll be like, okay, baby, be quiet. Don't cry. Okay, baby. Or something. They just repeat something over and over again. I know. But there's so much. Just those one channels that you took a picture of, you will learn. Surge, he really lays it out in a way that even some of the ex-Scientologists didn't even realize. And he said, children can't consent, and their parents are forcing them into the Sea Org to audit these adults and hear adult things when they're 13, 14, 15 years old. They should not be, they're kids. They should not be doing this. And that's why I'm so passionate. And when I found out, even though I live 75 miles from here, I'm like, I come down 2 to 3 times a week at least, and there's others, and We hope that we come at different times because as soon as we show up, they close the doors and they don't look. They usually have a welcome sign out here.
Wow.
Nobody's going to go in to close doors. They usually have what they call a body router out here. And they'll give you a ticket for a movie or say, come take a personality test. And to be honest, I've been really happy. 80% of the young people that have come by know something about it, know that it's bad, and they usually go in and they're just joking. So, and there's a few like you that really don't know that much.
Yeah.
But yeah, watch Going Clear. That's a good I haven't actually watched these things because I've watched so many of the ex-Scientologist videos.
Yeah.
I did a deep dive the last year and a half. So that's where I learned a lot of it. It's just watching. I'm getting rid of Hulu because I watch YouTube so much. I didn't ever watch YouTube.
Right.
Yeah, because you can't get the truth on regular news. They tell you what they want. So I'd rather get it from real journalists on YouTube that do the work.
It reminds me kind of have you heard of the YYZ Ranch? I think it's like YYZ.
Yeah, was that the
Texas.
one?
They were religious. I forget what
Were they the Mormons?
I don't want to say they were Mormon.
No.
But
There was one ranch. I don't know
they
about
had
the
A
YYZ.
big mansion, a big house, a big mansion.
No,
somewhere
that
out in
wasn't.
West Texas.
That was something else. But that sounds like I think I've heard of it.
Yeah, no, it was really big. 'Cause
But there's Mormon sects that have branched off of the main church. The polygamists are not part of the main church, and people get that mixed up because they say Mormon for all of them. But they have the names are a bit different. So the real Mormon church does not do polygamy, does not marry 14-year-olds. That's all these break-offs, and they're scary too. Those are cults too.
It's a YFZ Ranch, Yearning for Zion Ranch.
Okay.
They're fundamentalism, yeah, you're right, Church of Latter-day Saints.
Okay, yeah,
And
yeah.
then,
Is that Jeffries? Their leader's in prison.
I think the leader's in prison.
Yeah. And see, people think that's the real
Warren Jeffs.
yes.
Sorry.
So they're the fundamentalist Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. The real church is just the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. They have 16 million members all over the world. And I'm a member of that church.
Okay.
And I hear people say they have to escape. When my kids didn't want to go to church anymore, they just stopped. So I don't know if they're part of these split-offs, or there's just maybe some small pockets of our church that are not doing what they're supposed to be doing, that are doing the wrong thing. And that's possible. You know, there are people in the church that have done things I didn't like in my own church. You can't control everybody.
Yeah.
So I need to look at that a little bit more, but some people get some of these sects mixed up.
Yeah.
How do you suppose people kind of like navigate that? Like if people want to become religious or become spiritual, how do they navigate going to a church that actually really does what they're supposed to do versus a cult that is only there to harm people?
Well, the main thing, I mean, if they try to isolate you from your family, if they won't let you have independent thought, if they want to control your thoughts, I mean, it's pretty, I think if you're well versed in what's bad, you should be able to see that. And I grew up Baptist, and we're in a military town up near the base. And, you know, people come and go. We have all walks of life in church. So I haven't delved into people that said they escaped Mormonism that much. Because if it's from the main church, I got to know about that, because that's got to be some town or something that's doing, because that's not what we were taught.
Yeah.
I mean, I just went to church on Sunday and I had a calling, and, you know, other than that, it felt to me like when I was a member of the Baptist church.
Right.
So, you know, I think that's the biggest thing. Because this place, as soon as you get in, they want to try to start to isolate you from anybody that's a non-member. They want to control your thoughts. They're like, and so I think you guys sound pretty smart. I think you'd know. And that's the thing, though. They said being intelligent isn't necessarily keep you from, because people want to be part of something.
Yeah.
And so they feel like they're a part of something, and sometimes, and they get sucked in.
Yeah.
And then trying to leave is horrible. They will they just hound you and hound you and hound you when you try to get out. So it's hard. There's a lot of what we call under the radar. They're in, but their brain is out, mostly publics. Because if they were to speak out or leave, they would lose their family. They will make your spouse divorce you if they don't want to leave the church. you can't stay married. So, but yeah, thanks a lot for listening. That's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
I want to give out, you know, as much information as possible.
We passed by and she was like, you know, can we ask her about like this?
Well, it says, ask me why. I'm gonna have a bigger sign soon. So, yeah, I got a tripod and I'm gonna have a big sign. But yeah, that's what I'm here for. We have different people that have different ways that they do it. Some are loud and you know, really get on them, and then there's like me where I just talk, and I'm here to be approachable and I want to give out information. They do. They hate us. The stuff that they've done to other protesters in Chicago, they've physically attacked them. They'll pay street people to attack them. If you go to Growing Up in Scientology and start back about a year, that's when he really started. He goes live 2 or 3 times a day. He doesn't edit. It's pretty short. And he really puts forth the pedos in the church. And then you'll see the Squirrel Squad in LA. They really are the ones that started it. Started the auditing, then what now we just call it protesting because we have signs now. And they're the ones that really got everybody going. Streets LA, he used to be a cop watcher. And then the Scientologist got on him one day because he was near their property when he was cop watching. He's like, wait a minute, let me find out about these guys. And he's really the one that started all of this, kind of.
So they brought it on themselves.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yep,
Wow.
because they were giving him a hard time when he didn't even know who they were. So, and he knows the law inside and out because he's a cop watcher. Yeah. So they hate him. The LAPD hate him too. So, you're welcome.
It's Scientology will not win in Texas.
Scientology won't win in Texas. Yeah. If you put in Scientology, you're not going to get the church. You're going to get us.
Right.
You're going to get all of us.
Yeah.
There's a lot of us now. I think Fluffer Squirrel, she put a list out. Fluffer Squirrel in the UK, she's on here today. She broke it down by city, and last I heard, there may be more now, there was 80 channels that were protesting in different cities. Denver, Chicago, Portland, Seattle, overseas, LA, Clearwater, Florida, here. I think somebody's going to go into the Dallas org and protest. So,
That Dallas one got to be crazy.
yeah.
Hopefully we see this church dissolve in our lifetime.
We just want them, if they were to lose their tax exempt status, if the government would get involved, that's what protects them from lawsuits sometimes, because they're like, well, that's what they do. That's their, you know, right as a church, and they've hid behind it for too long. So hopefully getting it out like this, some of our Congress people will see it, some of our law enforcement will see it, and maybe they'll do something about it.
Absolutely. Okay,
Yeah.
Thank you for the information.
All right, you're very welcome.
Have a good day.
All right. Okay, guys. I was not watching the chat. Let's see what's been going on. All right. Oh, how far back? I've been talking for a while. Okay, Dan. Doing a great job. 47 a week. Yeah. Month. Okay, it's 200 a month? I thought it was 200 a week. Religious volunteers, I forgot that part. Good, thank you. I wish I would have been looking. There are 5 current lawsuits pending, yeah, for human trafficking, slave labor, sex abuse, stalking, harassment. Yeah, I forgot about that. I never know how long they're gonna stay, so I'm trying to get the basic, biggest information out. I didn't think about the lawsuits at all. Thank you, good spokesperson. Tell her about how they think black people are degraded. Oh, I forgot. Totally forgot. Expose these Scientology efforts. I will write all of this down and try to remember from now on. I thought about having some cards out here to remind me what to say. Thank you, Reggie, for supporting my live. I appreciate that. So gross. Yes, I'm rocking it. Thank you. That's awesome. Facts. They called the cops on my live here in NYC. I was with Aaron when LAPD falsely charged him. Oh, Reggie, I've seen people talk about you, and I saw a little short of yours, I think, I will go see. There is no retirement. Yeah, whenever I see them all bent over, I will say to them, sometimes your family misses you. Does it, the Chase wave? Yeah, I remember that. 160. Yeah, I remember that. She was 163,000 in debt. Yeah, Rosemary. Reggie, I cover New York City. Yeah, I will definitely check you out. And if you're on Fluffer Squirrel UK's list, I've subscribed. I subscribe to everybody on there. I don't always get to watch all the channels though. That's hard. Smart of you not to go alone. I actually do go alone a lot. She just happened to be here. I was gonna call her, but it was bad weather, and so, and I'll tell you in a minute why. I think I'm okay here because I am on such a busy street. Some of these other people, when they're one or two of them, some of these orgs are on a back street or a neighborhood, and there's not a lot of traffic. On a weekday, I think it's because that's why I think I want to come more weekdays than on. I'm definitely not coming Sunday again. The purification rundown, forgot about that. Yes, they call it locationals. Disgusting. I got a ticket. Oh, really? I need to check that out. LDS and LDS, fundamentalists. Those are fundamentalist offshoots, yeah. White horse theory is not so. I need to check that out. I watched a little documentary about it when they finally like got in there and got everybody out on the buses several years ago because I lived in Texas, and I was just disgusted. Oh, thank you. I'm at the bottom of the chat. Sorry I wasn't watching you guys, but anybody I can fill in, they're gonna tell somebody else. So, and like I said, I didn't realize they were gonna stay that long. So I try to hit them with something hard but simple, like the child abuse, the elder abuse. And so, you know, I don't go in like the Chase wave and some of that stuff because that's more for, you know, later. About me being alone. I mean, this is a Saturday. On weekdays, when the students are here, when I'm here, there's hundreds of students coming across here. And back here where I tend to park, there's parking garages, street parking, all that. There's always people down there too, going to and from class and stuff. So this is not a quiet neighborhood by far, by a long shot. So I don't worry at all. Now, something I do, the reason I don't go live from my vehicle walking up here is I don't want them to see where I might be parking. But what I do when I'm by myself is I start filming on my camera all the way here from my vehicle. So if anything were to happen, I mean, they can't stop it, but at least you'll know who did it. But I got this. See how it's one time, that was my first cane that my son bought for me. Somebody was going after see this? He should be retired, enjoying his grandkids, if he has any. Is anybody missing him? I could yell at him, but at this point, at this age, probably not gonna listen. Anyway, my cane. So my daughter was having a problem with her first husband in this apartment complex, and one of his buddies tried to get by me to her, and I caught him with that cane. And my husband, at the time I worked at I wasn't working. I worked for a police station before, and I typed up the reports and stuff, and he's like, you could have went to jail for assault. I said, no, I was protecting a third party. I would be fine. And I really don't care. I'm like, I have an incurable disease. I have no job. I have no kids at home. First time offender. I don't care. So, oh, there's more. Why is my chat not moving? The SNL Scientology parody skit. Oh, I've seen one. I'm not sure if it's the right one. You were on point. Thank you. The main stuff that I've learned, I try to remember minutes behind, but I hope you clip that interview and post it. Okay, I will. I was trying. She said, do. Good. We are kindred spirits. Yes. Well, that's something that I love about SBTV. And the reason I said yesterday, I think I was in the member chat, or maybe I was just on a live, I don't know. But Aaron was saying that the reason he's involved is because it's not serious all the time. It can be fun sometimes. And, you know, if it was serious and you're angry all the time when you're doing this, you can't, that's not sustainable. And that's why I come out and I want to look approachable. I'm in a good mood because I'm glad I'm here. It took me a while. I mean, some of you may not know this, and I do bring it up, and I don't bring it up as a, oh my God, you know, or I want attention. The reason I bring up my health is there have been people who said, I don't know if I can do this. Well, I had my walker ready to bring with me to sit on if I couldn't stand. Reason being, I was bedridden the last 5 years due to injuring like 5 discs in my lower back. I literally couldn't even sit up. Gravity hurt. So I've spent 5 years in my bedroom. That's why I had so much time to deep dive into the Scientology stuff and how I've had so much time. I know a lot of people don't have as much time as I did. I put a lot of time into it. And that's why I know quite so much. Make a little checklist to hit the main points. Yep, that's a good idea. I'm gonna do that. That's kind of why I wrote notes today, and then I'm not used to having notes, so I left the whole notebook, and I was gonna rip it out of the notebook. But yeah, I'm gonna do that, and I'll laminate it, and I'll just have it ready. Maybe I'll hang it around my neck. I'm gonna get something rolly to carry my stuff, because right now all I have is a backpack and what I can carry, and with a cane. And then when I got a hot chocolate, because I was already hyped up on too much coffee. It's really hard to carry stuff with a cane too, and a sign. So, and I had the gimbal in my hand, and I had the coffee. Luckily, my cane can hook over my arm now. That's why I bring that one now, since my foldable one, because that's why I hang it right there. It's really hard to see if I put it, so I'm not holding my sign right now. It's right there. Let's see. That's a great idea. Yeah. Yep. So yeah, I was getting to that because people have said, you know, I'm homebound, I can't do this. Well, if you can't come out physically, then be a keyboard warrior. Contact the news. Contact the law channels. I contacted the DUI guy, but I've noticed I've only found out about him recently. The DUI guy will only really look at some of a bunch of people email him about it. Now, I don't know his email, so I contacted him on Insta. LawTube, Law and Lumber, Uncivil Law, all of those people. You know, send them what's going on in LA. Nothing's going on here in Austin, don't worry about that. Show them all the corruption of the LAPD. Contact your local news. It doesn't have to be an LA-based news organization. Maybe some other news in another city will cover it and say, look what's going on in LA. So be a keyboard warrior. That's what we need right now to shine a light. We've got the channels, but we're in our own bubble. You know, we're in our bubble. We're getting other people in, but we need to get out of that bubble. We need to get the law channels involved. We need to get the news organizations involved. We need to get the government involved. Email your congressman the videos of people getting attacked and then arrested. You know, let them know what's really going on. I don't know, if they're not looking up Scientology, they're not gonna know. So for people that aren't sure they can do this, that maybe want to go out, I started out thinking all I was gonna do is film Pearl Snappy. I just call PDs and start talking to cops and asking what they know. Then I speak with the PR people they send me to. I'll take up a good 30 minutes of their time on a call. At Scientology, that is totally awesome. I even thought of that today. Use your walker. I also use one. Well, I've been doing okay, but I was gonna bring it if I couldn't stand so far. I mean, I mean, I have days that I can't come. I've done too much, but I raised yesterday or the day before, I can raise the setting on my implant, my stimulator, and I did, and it seems to be helping a lot. But I don't want to get rid of all the pain because I have to remember they're still injured, and I have to be careful. It's still there. It's only blocking the pain. So that's that. If I get a rolly thing, because it's kind of hard. I have a good one. I bought a rolly one with wheels and a seat and a little storage thing. Because when I first got sick in 2010, I was so weak I couldn't even open an envelope. And it took them a year to figure out what was wrong with me. So that was something else. And then 5 years ago, I fell in my kitchen, and in November they put the implant in, and in January it was healed, and in February I started this. And like I said, if all you can do, if you don't have enough people to go live, like I was lucky. I asked Aaron to promote my channel, and I got my 50 because I super chatted him. Then I asked Pearl Snappy if I could put my channel on there because I had 9 subscribers, and I lost 3, and I don't know if you go under 50 if you can't go live anymore. So I'm like, well, I need a cushion. I need like 100. I want 100, so I have a cushion. I'm good. But like I said, what I did, if you look, the first few videos I have, I just recorded Pearl Snappy, and I cut out the clips of when the cops were called and the old guy was in our face. I wish I could have got him on camera because he was like 8 inches from my face. But I'm holding my camera and I'm looking at him. I'm trying to learn. Maybe when I get the new gimbal that stabilizes better, I'll be more easy to move around and try to follow my eyes. I used to be a motorcycle rider. I know that where my eyes go, my motorcycle goes, so I need to learn to do that with my camera. So anybody that can't go live, go film 5 minutes and put it out there. And start there. That's what I did. And I started small. And I'm like, every time it gets better, I'm just amazed and happy. Because I'm a realist. I'm not a pessimist. I think the worst, or I think, this is all I want. And when it's better, it turns out better, I'm pleasantly surprised. So, I never thought I'd have this many people listening to me talk. Which I can do. I have no problem talking. Or being loud. I could be loud like Pearl Snappy, and I'm gonna be, but I don't have her talent with the songs and stuff. But I was in the Army. I was in the reserves, and I loved basic training. And it was in the 80s before they had to be nice to us. But I flourished in it because I knew how to keep my mouth shut and do what I was told. Matter of fact, basic training is 8 weeks. The 6th week of training, I walked up to my drill sergeant. We were doing something with weapons, and I asked him a question. And he said, "Private, are you in my platoon?" Hey, you're supposed to be asleep. My hubby's in here. He works at night. He's supposed to be asleep. This is like 2 o'clock in the morning for him. What time is it? But thank you, Reggie. I appreciate it. I'm a lupus. I have always protested, but my body doesn't agree. Now I do what I can. I have fibromyalgia, and I have traumatic fibromyalgia, which means I got it overnight due to a trauma. I didn't get it. And this is going to help you if you haven't done it yourself already. So I spent several years in bed, weak. And my husband was in Iraq the day he got on the plane for Iraq, I went in the emergency room and thought I was going to be better. Pup groomer. I've said it before, I live in the middle of nowhere and don't travel much, so I do what I can. I make flyers and have them available to anyone with no expectations of interactions on my channel. Absolutely. Pup groomer 20. She has flyers available that you can download and print out and change probably. And that's awesome because that's something I wanted to do, but I literally just didn't have time. I was doing so many other things. So I'm glad somebody like you did it, and that's it. that's all you do is support my channel and do that for other people, you're supporting the cause. Pup Groomer LA and Chi-Town, where Columbia is so far, gave them hell about that douchebag Harris. Reggie, I heard Aaron promote you. Aaron used an amazing gimbal. Thank you for your service. Oh, thank you. My husband, so I did my term. I got out because my husband and I, we were together in high school, and we both went in the Army Reserves in high school. It was a delayed program. And after 2 years of reserves, he went active duty, and I became a housewife. So I actually wanted to be a drill sergeant. I wanted to go active duty and bring a drill sergeant, but only one of us could be active duty. You can't have two parents in the Army. So he spent 21 years in. He retired in 2010 here up at the base. We've been here now 30 years because the Army stuck us here, and I love it. I love the government here. We're from up north, so the heat's gotten to me over the years. But anyway, lupus. So we were traveling about my third or fourth year into fibro, and I had tremors. I had about 80% of all of the symptoms, and I was very lethargic, no energy because it affects your adrenal glands. I still have that problem. I drink coffee when I shouldn't because that's the only time I can get energy sometimes. But I met this nutritionist / chiropractor, and she said, "What's wrong with you, by the way?" We were down on the Gulf. And I told her, and she goes, "Well, the reason you're having a bad day," I said, "This has been my worst day." And she said, "Because the low pressure system's coming in." I'm like, I didn't know the barometer could affect me like that. So then we spent an hour, and she told me how I could make things better by just changing my diet. And I was like, okay, great. But I didn't do it for another year or so. She said, go gluten-free. That's the biggest, because gluten causes inflammation, and it will exacerbate any autoimmune disease, lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, fibromyalgia, anything that you have pain, any pain that you have, gluten will exacerbate it, make it worse. So go gluten-free. Then she said, get rid of processed food and go with fresh greens and fresh produce. I do frozen. I get organic when I can afford it. And back then it was hard, about 10 or so years ago. It was hard to go gluten-free. It was hard to find that stuff. I had to travel down here to Austin to Whole Foods to get that stuff. Now it's everywhere. It's easy. And when I did that, I got out of bed. The tremors went away. I got stronger, and I was still kind of homebound, but I got out of bed. So I've been bedridden 2 different times for different things. So anybody with any kind of inflammation would and I try to tell anybody about that, because you can pass it on to somebody you know that has that issue. And when I eat gluten, like sometimes I'll cheat and have pizza, regular from Little Caesars. I'm gonna pay for it the next day. Not as bad as I was, but I'm gonna pay for it. But I go into it knowing. Now, crumbs of gluten, like people who have celiac disease, they don't bother me. A little bit doesn't bother me. So I totally understand mobility issues. That is part of why I have a service dog. Yep. Yeah. I had a Pomeranian. I had a Chihuahua. I adored her. She's the only dog we've ever had that attached to me personally, and when I was sick. And she started alerting to my medical issues. And I was going to train her to be my medical alert dog, but she could not stand to be in public. She got so scared, and she liked to go with us. She just didn't care where she went, and she didn't like to be around a lot of other people. So if we took her anywhere, we didn't take her inside. It had to be just a car ride. So, and I usually never left alone. I mean, this has been the first time that I've gone places without my husband. My husband always drove me. I was never by myself because I didn't know how steady I would be. So I'm getting stronger after the implant and being here. The first week I was out here before they opened, I was here every day but one, and I lost 5 pounds, which was awesome. Because I gained all the weight, not from food, but from medications they gave me. When they figured out what was wrong with me, they threw like 5 new medications at me. They all caused weight gain, and I blew up. And it's hard to lose weight when you're sedentary. I can never say that word. DT30. I'm so glad you found the right diet to help heal your body. I have had a similar experience, and low carb keto carnivore is working for me to reverse a lot of issues. Absolutely. What you eat really makes a difference, and I found that out. And that can be the biggest, and like I said, just going gluten-free is easy now. You can find gluten-free pasta. We get factor meals. We've gotten pre-made. I tried to do the plans where you cook, but I wouldn't feel like cooking. I was throwing everything away. So like a good 3-4 years we've been having meals delivered, but I still cook sometimes because I never know when I'm going to feel up to it. And they're fresh, and if we don't eat them in that week, we put them in the freezer. And they're gluten-free, low sugar, low salt. All of us streamers are in this battle together against Scientology. They lie on us. You are just as good. Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. I really do. I appreciate all of you. I'm out here because I'm passionate about being here. There's some people inside, and let's see. He was leaning on the counter. In case somebody recognizes him. There we go. Okay. But I also, one of the things that really made me come out today was I put out on my channel that I was going to be here today, and I was like, I could have sat there in the rain. It was only missing by my house. But I'm like, look, I promised I'd be out here, and I want to be out here. So you guys inspire me to be here. I might not be as motivated if all I was doing is recording and putting it on the channel. But if it was getting views, that would inspire me and motivate me. But you guys motivate me too. And you know, I never thought anybody'd want to listen to what I have to say. I'm just a grandma in a small town, you know. So I wonder if he's a member. So I'm gonna try to go not quite 2 hours because of parking. And I found out parking is, glad you're back on your feet, feels great, right? Scientology can F off into the forever. Right on with that. F Scientology. So the reason I put forth that stuff is I want people to know that, you know, even if you have to bring a chair, if you feel like doing that, bring a chair and sit down with a sign and say, ask me about Scientology, because that was my plan originally. I thought I was bringing my walker to sit on. I still might. Although I think one of my rolly totes is I can sit on it, but I'll be honest, it's almost better for me to stand the whole time, because once I sit down, I probably won't want to get up. And it's been okay. And then I love talking about the diet because I know it can help so many others like me. And I hope, and if you don't, so like I said, and fresh or frozen produce, actually frozen produce, it can be better. Because they, you know, flash freeze it right away. It doesn't sit around. And I really, if I read a label and I don't understand some of the stuff that's in it, I don't get it. So, it's hard though to have fresh produce when you don't cook enough. Like, I bought stuff to make stir fry like 4 or 5 days ago, and if I don't do it soon, it's gonna go in the trash, and I hate that because, oh my God, the grocery prices are ridiculous. So I've gotten groceries delivered for some time, and the thing that sucks is I can't get produce from them because what they deliver to me looks like it's been in a soccer match, like was the soccer ball. So once a month I have to do my own produce run. Spent a few hours yesterday searching Vegas noise codes. Oh, wait. And such. Going down around the beginning of the month, so planning things out. Going to try really hard to make it over to the org while there. That's awesome. That's awesome. Just, if you can go live, great. If not, just take some video. Shorter videos sometimes get more views. I'm still trying to figure out how to edit. I was trying to edit the last live, and I realized I'm doing it on my phone because it's easier to a point because I have apps, and it's not been easy. I'm still learning, so that's why I haven't I haven't edited a lot of my videos. Oh, yeah, tell him that. You're still on here, hubby? But no, I'm pretty lucky too because he's really supportive. He's come down with me a couple times and just sat over there or went to the coffee shop. He's the one that had the idea to go look for the tripod. And then yesterday he's like, well, I got extra money in my check this week, or you need to get your gimbal. And I was like, it's too much, I'm gonna wait, but I think when I get home I'm gonna order it. Because yeah, Reggie. So like I said, I don't mind talking about some personal things, especially if it's gonna help other people. But I also like to talk about Scientology and the ongoing news and what's going on with people. And oh, did you hear about Aaron's new foundation that he finally gave out the name yesterday or the day before? Did everybody hear that? I was so excited. I think a lot of us were hoping that he would do it. And it's called the SPTV Foundation because he said it's all of us that is going to get the word out to the foundation. You'll be able to go live, but it's not like Austin. It's off of the back road, and so I mean, we don't get very much excitement here, other than that one time. I get a few people here and there. I remember seeing the guy in Denver. He's able to sit his camera on the ground because I can't do that, it gets stolen. And he just stands there holding the sign. And the first time I watched him early on, I think he's doing more now. He's got more people out there last time I looked. Yeah, are you visiting Vegas? It sounds like you are because you said you were pretty far away. I visited Vegas for the first time about a year and a half ago, but I didn't even go on the Strip. The meetups I went to were on Fremont, so that was cool. But yeah, I can't wait for the new foundation. Like I said, a year ago, maybe longer, I bought a domain. I need to go make sure it's still even there because I never did anything with it because I was afraid the church would go buy up all the SPTV domains, and I made an email for it. Oh yeah, that's right. Aren't you in Nevada? Yeah, you told me. I remember. Yeah, pup groomers. Kind of like me, pretty far from. You're way farther, but yeah, everything I want to go to. Luckily though, in the last 10-15 years, we finally boomed, and we got a Sam's Club, we got a new outdoor mall, we've gotten some chain restaurants. Because I used to have to come down here to do anything important or shop or anything. We didn't have much we got there in 93, there was nothing there. And we had to wait for it to boom, and really, they need to put some industry out there because there's a lot of people living there because the cost of living is good. And then they drive the drive I do to go to work here in Austin. Oh, that's right. You said that. The closest Walmart is 200 miles away. Woo. Yeah, that's... I was telling you, remember, I was telling you, our two towns together are 15 miles wide. And in 15 miles, because of the base, and, you know, a lot of people have retired there. A lot of people have moved there now. Because we're one of the biggest bases in the world. There's a couple that are a little bit bigger, but we're really far. Most bases are far from, most of the time, a big city. But we've got 3 super Walmarts, a Sam's Club, 5 neighborhood Walmarts, 5 or 6 Starbucks now, and 3 super HEBs, which is the Texas grocery store, and a small HEB. And did I say and a Sam's Club? I'm like, yeah, and they're busy. So we have a lot of people now. A lot of people are moving there because they can't afford to live in Austin. And then they drive, because I used to have a doctor here in Austin, and I had an 8 o'clock appointment, I left at 5 a.m. because morning traffic was so horrible. The only reason my husband was able to commute is he works nights, so he doesn't have the traffic. As viewers, we have a right to call any PD in the country and report crimes and lies we witness. I call them and fill online complaints. F. Scientology, that is amazing. That's really awesome. All right. The only SPT content I have is the protest flyers available in my community tab. Hey, that's enough, Club Rumor. That's enough. And watching some channels, that's support enough. I mean, not everybody can do a lot. I didn't think I would. I mean, all I was a viewer before, too. And I didn't, you know, until I was watching Will, I was Streets LA, and I was watching them when they were still on Hollywood Boulevard before they went to the restaurant, because they closed Hollywood down. And I literally sat there and created my channel while I was watching them, and that's why I had problems with the name, because I originally didn't know how to make a separate channel from my personal stuff, and so it changed. But they inspired me. I'm like, these young people, these TikTokers are out there, and they're going, then this was before they ever got arrested and went to jail. This was when they were getting the false calls and stuff. I sub to all the new streamers and try to spread the news when new ones pop up. Yep, me too. I have no org here in Iowa, but we can make noise so many ways still. Just watch, like, sub, share, ask questions. We will shut them down. Exactly, F. Scientology. That's another reason why I'm glad I'm live. Because, you know, when they go to look up Scientology now, you don't get the Scientology church channel. You get all the SPTV channels. And I just might pop up to somebody new. And those 2 people that stood here and listened to me, you know, they might go look up one of those channels and they might share that on their Facebook, and then it gets shared, and then they might talk to people. Tonight they might go to a friend's house tonight, and they're going to tell them, hey, I talked to this lady on the street today. And I know, somebody told me once, and I know I don't have the numbers right, but it really got ingrained in my brain. They said, if you will, for sure. And this was just, it wasn't any kind of activism. It was just as a person. As a person, you may affect 8 people in your life. Those 8 people will each affect 8 other people. And each one of them will affect 8 other people. So you have to decide, how are you going to project yourself, and how are you going to affect those people? And that's why I've always tried to stay in good humor and stuff. At home, my husband will tell you, you know, we're trying to go to church and I'm yelling at the kids. I'm loud and I can get angry pretty fast. But when I would go to work and stuff, I would leave all that outside the door. You know, if I was stressing, I left it outside the door. I always had a smile on my face. And that's just the way I am. Because I was truly happy to be at work. It didn't matter what job I was doing or how little I was making. Because I wouldn't have stayed at a job I didn't really like. So I try to do the same thing here. And I'm not going to come down here if I'm in a bad mood. Man, that day I stay home. So guys, it's getting late. Looks like they said it was going to rain at 5. Looks like it might start soon. It's 5:02. Yep. And I've also noticed South by Southwest starts this weekend. I don't know much about it. I've always wanted to come down, but I looked at the ticket prices for even just a couple of days. It's pretty steep. One of these days I'm going to do it because I like music. I like to see the small new bands and stuff. And you know what I'll do is I'll go. I forget where I saw it, but they had like a database of all the bands that were playing at South by Southwest, and I went in and I found a couple new bands I really liked, and they were small. This was several years ago. I don't even listen to music much anymore because I'm always watching SPTV. And there are some other channels I follow that aren't SPTV because I started my YouTube watching community with Popcorn Planet, and there's a lot of crossover with followers of Popcorn Planet, who is Nerd Report's a part of Popcorn Planet. So I knew of Lewis long before I found SPTV, and I actually I've gone to 3 different meetups, and I met Lewis in LA, and I met Lewis in Las Vegas, and I met the rest of them. I'm so sad you're proving all this important Scientology information and not feeling good because you make us feel good. Oh no, I feel fine. I'm fine. The pain stimulator's working. I found out if I up it a little bit, I'm feeling a lot better. So no, oh gosh, compared to before to now, it's gotten rid of 70% of the pain. So now it's just like a sore back, just a little bit sore. It's nothing like it was before. There's no way I'd be here from before. I couldn't sit in a car. There's no way. So I wouldn't be here if I couldn't handle it. So no, everything's good now. And I was worried because I've heard the stories, you know, the pain stimulator didn't work for this person. Oh, this person had this happen, and so far it's working good for me. I think they said it's good for 10 years before I think I need to replace it. So, no, that's awesome. And I do have a back brace. I just hate wearing it. But no, an hour and a half to 2 hours, it's no big deal. So any more than that, I'd probably be, because once I get in the car, I've got a pillow I put in my back. I got a cushion, a really nice cushion I bought my husband, but I like it. It's memory foam. So once I'm in the car, I'm resting. It's fine. So yeah, South by Southwest. Hey, Jay Young. Yeah. I saw a big line when I was coming up, and I was worried I wouldn't find parking, but I don't think there's anything going on right around here. We don't have any bars right around here. They're all down there. And it was like 2 or 3 blocks down, I saw this big line and a sign. There was something going on down there. I don't know if they were selling some sort of tickets or what, but there's so much, this road back here, San Antonio, it's like parking garages, street parking, and then, oh God, oh, my shoulder. I need surgery in my shoulders too. Down there, that next light, there's a really good parking garage over there too I've used. So I got lucky. I don't even try street parking. You can't get, it's too horrible, and you have to get on an app and try to pay on an app, and it's just ridiculous. I just go to the parking garage. So, all right, y'all. I'm gonna go. I thank y'all for hanging with me. And we got a couple here that shouldn't be having to do what they're doing. So, oh, this is Saturday. Some of them are celebrating L. Ron Hubbard Day today. That's what's going on. I'll bet Pearl Snappy's coming tonight. If she's not, she also said she was gonna go live if they had a table in South by Southwest, because sometimes they do. Yeah, y'all. Thank you. Y'all have a good night. Yeah, I know. She should be chilling like I'm gonna do when I get home. So that's it. So I'm going to try. I like to come every other day. So I'll try to let you know ahead of time. Thanks, y'all. Peace out.